Tasha, you done kicked him out right into the arms of another woman. What's wrong with you? First it's gonna be a baby, then it's gonna be a marriage, and then it's gonna be a whole second family. Come on, girl, what's wrong with you? Hey, Samore Love Bugs. You have now tuned in to my Power Season 2 Episode 6 recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe if you have not yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video wherever you like to share videos. And don't forget to give it that good old thumbs up, okay? And check out my other channel, which is Samore Love TV. That's where I have my beauty, fashion, and I also have my love and hip-hop ATL recaps over there. So be sure to check it out, okay? So you don't miss those recaps. Alright guys, so this was a really good episode to me. There was a lot going on, so it's going to be a lot that we're going to talk about. Definitely leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode and everything else that you want to talk about. Okay, so we're going to talk. Anyway, so we start off with Angela. She's meeting up with Holly and they're getting all close because, of course, now Angela is intrigued. She wants to find out who it is that she's sleeping with. She feels like she's sleeping with the enemy now. So she's trying to get some kind of proof to make sure that, I think it's kind of like she's just pretty much trying to find out, like, am I really getting the wrong guy? Do I even know who this Jaime person is that I reconnected with and fell in love with? What is going on? Am I putting my job on the line? Maybe that's the reason why he's asking so many questions all the time. You know, now things are starting to really like click with her. So what Angela suggests is that she brings her some kind of evidence, maybe like the gun that Ghost used to kill Rolla or something. And she asked her what kind of gun was it that Jaime used. She said she thinks it was a silencer, but she doesn't really know too much about guns. So now when she gets back to Tommy's house, she's searching all over the place, looking behind all his little secret compartments. She knows where everything is. So she's just looking all over. But I'm like, at the end of the day, why would Ghost give Tommy his gun to hold down for him? It didn't really make sense to me. If anything, he would be holding on to it. He would have dashed it into the river or did something with it that no one could find it. Like, why would you give it to your homeboy? And that just, it was weird to me. Anyway, she looking all over. She gives Tommy a good, you know, and then she goes ahead and looks inside the car and finds a gun there and meets up with Angela again. But when she gives her the gun, she's like, oh, this is not the same gun that was used to kill Rolla. So that was mission done for no reason. So Holly's like, yo, give me back the gun then. Because she doesn't want anything that can possibly put Tommy away if they find that he used it on somebody else. So she was dumb, but she wasn't that dumb. So then, following that, she was just, I don't know, I just felt like she's trying really to help, but it's like she's doing too much. And every time he comes home, he kind of sees her doing weird stuff, but it's not really clicking with him at the moment because, you know, he's so in love. Love is blind. You already know. All right, so the guys that Tommy and his crew had robbed in order to take over that territory, now they got some, I think he was a Serbian, no, he was an Albanian. He was an Albanian guy. He had him all tied up on the chair, all bloodied up. They beat him, tortured him, and they even after that, they put a bag on his head and put a rat inside of there to finish up the job and torture him some more. Then when Jaime comes to just kind of talk to them and get a sense of what's going down, following that, they bring him back out. It's like they really wanted to show who was in control. I don't think that they really trust Tommy and the crew. But in that type of business, you can't really trust people like that. And, I mean, they have good reason to not trust them because they robbed them. Even though they don't have any proof, that's what happened. So they have Jaime there and they bring out a saw. What was that? Like a chainsaw type of thing. You know, like, what is it? Jason. You know how he walks around with his freaking chainsaw? So they brought one of those. He tried to give it to Jaime, like, oh, would you like to do the honors? This is what we do to people that mess with us. But Jamie's like, nah, I didn't bring a change of clothes. I ain't getting my clothes dirty. This is some fine linens right here. So he goes ahead and does it. But Jaime's like, yo, we definitely got to watch them. They're doing things like that in order to, like, Jaime's not stupid. He got his mind right. So he knows when things are kind of funny. So he definitely knows that these people are kind of, they're the type of people that want to turn on you real quick. And they'll be ready to turn on you if necessary. So they just really need that territory in order to move all that product that Logos had gave to them. Tasha and Jaime's son, Tyreek, he's starting to act up in school. You know, that tends to happen a lot of times when families are together, they split up. Sometimes one child tends to just do things that they wouldn't normally do. Like, he's normally an A student, a good student. They're in private school, but now he just got, I think he got suspended because he was fighting. So the head mistress or headmaster, I don't know what they call him in private school, but the head person, the principal, she talks to Tasha and says that he's acting different now, and he did mention that his father's not in the household and they're having issues. And she's like, oh, I didn't know my money, my good little donations paid for this type of one-on-one counseling as well. She's like, no, we good. You know, basically, she doesn't want any handouts. She doesn't want any help from anyone. And following that, Knox, he talks to Angela. He tries to catch her in a lie because he asked her how she's doing. She says she's fine. She said, you know, you looked a little shaken up the other day. She's like, nah, I'm good. And he's like, well, you know, I was about to come see you the other night, but then I didn't. What did you end up doing? She was like, oh, I just stayed home. Bang, bang, bang. Caught her in a lie right there. You know why? Because he saw her with Jaime arm in arm, walking, about to go on a date, because he came over and randomly surprised her as well. So yeah, she got caught in a lie. He knows that she's trying to cover something up. So now he's taking it upon himself to become an investigator and investigate her as well, because he's like, but hold on, wait a minute. These people are all connected to each other and you're connected to him, so something is not right. And plus he's jealous as well. So of course that's going to be another reason to try to push him a little further to get things settled and situated. So then she is at work and she lies again because she says that she has to leave all in a sudden, and she tells him to tell Mike that she had to go and see her, take her father to an appointment. So he's like, oh, okay. What does he do? He ends up following her, which I pretty much had a feeling that he was going to do. He follows her down to a diner and he sees a car that looks like the one that Jaime St. Patrick is usually in, but he checked the license plate number because of course he had it in his smartphone, but unfortunately it wasn't the same one. But then he sees Holly walking down the block, so he's like, wait, hold up, wait a minute, what is going on here? This is looking a little fishy-dishy. Okay, so he looks and he kind of sees them doing a little something, but I don't think he didn't really get a good view, but he knew that they were sitting down having a conversation and he could kind of read their facial expressions, seeing what they was doing, and that they was kind of moving something under the table. So he's like, what the heck is going on here? So what was going on was that was the exchange of the gun that we spoke about earlier. Tasha and Sean, they're starting to get really close. She has him take her to the gun range so that she can practice her shooting, because she knows that things is getting crazy and she knows that she's going to have to protect these kids at the end of the day because of the lifestyle that they live. And she did, when he was there, when he came back, her mother had like a little conversation with her because she's seen how he looked all happy. He stayed for dinner. He's helping with the kids and all that. Like, hold on, you're not the replacement daddy. What is going on here? So her mother has a little stern talking to her like all mothers tend to do, because I know my mother tends to do that all the time. Even if I want the advice or not, she's going to make sure she tell me that advice. So that's exactly what her mama did. Her mama was like, you know, this man right here, he's not going to be a replacement for Jaime. You are pushing him right into the arms of another woman is what you're doing. That, yeah, the skit that I did earlier, that's pretty much what she was telling her. That it's going to be a baby, that it's going to be a marriage, and he's going to get a whole nother family and forget all about you. And, you know, that is what tends to happen a lot of times. So she's kind of telling her, like, you can't do this on your own. When you want to find somebody that's just like him. You know, I mean, to be honest, she's used to a certain lifestyle, and at this time, Sean is not able to provide that. Like, he's a young guy. So she's like, you know what, I can do it all by myself. She was like, either way, I'm going to do a much better job than you did. Her mother, look at her with them, you know how the mothers just look with them eyes, right? She gave her one box. I thought I could feel it all the way through the TV. Let me tell you guys, I was like, whoa. Yo, and then she just was standing there like, you know, like, I can't believe I'm a grown woman and my mom just hit me in my face. Yeah, just because you're taking care of things don't mean that you could talk to your mom in any type of way. So, I mean, maybe or maybe not, it could have been a valid, true point, but still, you know, the way it came out, it just was real wrong, and it didn't come out right. It was bad. So her mother was just like, you're not gonna talk to me like that. And her mother's like, she was telling her mother, like, you think you're gonna stay here? She was like, I'm going to sleep. She was like, you think you're gonna stay here after that? Her mother was like, so who do you think is gonna feed and take care of that baby in there while you're taking care of the twins? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to sleep. Good night. I was like, yo, mama done sunned her. Mama done showed her who the real mama of the house was. So yes, she did. Okay, following that, what happened? Jaime, he calls up Holly and he tells her that he needs to talk to her or whatever. Did he call her up? I think he had called her up. But anyways, they met up. No, there was a little meeting. It was Jaime and it was Tommy at first. They were meeting and whatever, sitting down, and then in comes Holly looking all cute and stuff, like she on a date. So he's like, oh, I didn't know you were gonna be here. She's like, oh, I didn't know you were gonna be here. So they're all sitting down. Tommy goes to get something, and then he has a real quick and stern talking with her, like, I told you to leave. She's like, you know, I didn't get a chance to yet. You know, doing one of those, the redhead moves. And he's like, come here. You know, he grabbed her up real quick. It was just like so sexy, wasn't it? It was like he grabbed her up and then he was like, yo, you better come get this money and this ticket so you can get out of here. And I don't want to tell you again. And then he just like kind of let it go real quick. It was just like so fast. I know she was kind of thinking like, oh, this is kind of hot. Because you know she likes things rough and stuff like that. She likes handcuffs and whips and everything else. So, you know, she got a little turned on by it. So anyways, that's what happens. And then he excuses himself once Tommy comes back. And yeah, she's expected to leave following that. So now after everything is going down, Angela is starting to rethink everything. She's not really sure if she wants to be with Jaime anymore, and she tells him that, and he's just like, you know what, this is not a conversation that we should be having over the phone. We need to talk about this. This is not, we're not doing this right now. Tommy, he also ends up giving Holly his grandmother's ring, which is like something super sentimental to him. He like took it out of his cigarette box, you know, he did one of those, took it out, gave it to her real quick, and she was like super flattered by it. First she thought that, oh my god, is this an engagement? He's like, no, oh, whoa, let's not get this twisted. I'm just giving you the ring so people know you're mine, but not really mine. Like, you're not gonna get my last name or anything like that. Let's slow it down just a little bit. I love you, I do anything for you, but I'm not crazy though. That's, you know, that's what he was trying to tell her. So while Jaime was talking to Tommy on the phone, I don't know how it happened. Like that part, I probably got to see again, because what happened? Was it that Jaime rear-ended someone or someone rear-ended him? I don't know. And it seemed like he kind of did it on purpose, because he said he wanted them to check his blood so that they could see that he wasn't drinking. So he wanted to go into the precinct. So anyways, they checked his blood. He wasn't above the alcohol limit or anything like that. He was good. Tasha came in to the station. She's like, were you drinking? What's wrong with you? And he tells her, like, you know, I just wanted to come here so they can see that there was nothing wrong with me or anything like that. So then she looks straight ahead and she's like, you called her? Seriously? Who does she see? She sees Angela right across, and she found out because they were talking about it at the station where she's at. It was Knox, her, and Mike were all talking about it. And Knox was gonna go, but then she ended up going. So they kind of like had that real quick, like, you know, one of those. They were looking at each other and, you know, it was just really awkward. Tasha looked like if she was able to, she would have beat her down, especially because at that moment she didn't know that she was law enforcement, so she would have got her a good beating. But luckily, I guess Angela was like, you know what, let me get out of here right now because this is super awkward and I don't want to be a part of this. So she ends up leaving. And then when Tasha is driving Jaime home, because he now doesn't have a car, he has to get the car fixed, she's just like, well, she was driving him home. He was just like, she's like, why her? Out of all the people, why her? And he was like, he never really got over her. And she was like, so what was I? I was just like a replacement. I was just here for now. What's up? And then he's like, he thinks quick. He's like, damn, I gotta fix this right now. I'm gonna say anything and everything to try to make this right. He's like, you know what? She's a prosecutor. And right now, she's investigating Tommy. That's the reason why I took her to Miami, so that I can get a little more out of her. I mean, some of the story is true, but then some of it isn't true, because he has more feelings for her than that. And she slapped the crap out of him for bringing this all upon them. He's like, she's like, so you mean to tell me that you got this woman investigating Tommy, and then after that, what you think she's going to do? She's going to come after you when she finds out that you're involved with it, and then she's going to come after me. And then our family, what's going to happen to our family, our business? What's up? What's going on with that? She's like, you know what? You know what? You're going to keep doing her. You're going to keep on doing it until I tell you to stop. I was like, well, dang, Tasha, go ahead and take charge. You now pimping him out. She like, you know what? I don't even care about this whole situation. He's like, you know, I don't know if it's going to keep on. She's like, no, you're going to do it. And I seen how she looked at you, and I seen how you looked at her. Y'all love each other. So you're going to keep on until I tell you to stop. I was like, yes. I didn't even like her too much, but now she is the woman scorned, and she is taking control of this situation. She is doing somewhat of what her mama told her to do, as well as just taking control as a woman. She's like, no, you're not gonna leave me like this. I'm gonna show you who's the boss, who's holding it down. So yeah, Tasha, after she takes him to his house, she has Sean drive her or whatever, or they're in the car together. They end up in a parking lot, and she's about to leave. She tells him, you know, in the morning, I need you to take this car to the shop or whatever, get that bumper fixed. And then she's like, you know what? After this, this marriage is pretty much over. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what it do, and I'm gonna have some fun while I do it, honey. So she went ahead. She was like, she grabbed him up and gave him a good kissing, she just took him in the car and gave him a good loving too. I was like, yes. You know she made it good. She like, you ain't gonna think about my friend no more. This is all yours. So yeah, they did the nasty, and they was sucking and doing all kind of stuff. You know, she showed those titties that she showed us back in the B.I.G. moments in that video. Yes, she did. So yeah, they pretty much did that whole thing. They consummated everything, and they got it popping. Following that, at the same time, Angela had went over to Jaime's house because she couldn't find Holly. So she's like, where's Holly? Where's Holly? What is going on? And he's like, wait, hold on. How you know Holly? She was like, well, she was being investigated, because now she's like, dang, I forgot I didn't tell him that part. So he's like, so she's like, well, she was being investigated because she's connected to Tommy, so that's the reason why. And then he's like, well, she was like, you know what? He killed her. I know that he killed her, and now it's like, she was like, I'm gonna get him. And he's like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Nobody's dead. They had an argument, and I sent her away. I gave her money for a ticket so she can go. So she can go on a, so she can go or whatever. So then that calms her down a little bit. She was about ready to leave. He remembered what Tasha told him, take charge. You're gonna do her until I tell you to stop. Yes, you gonna do it. So he went ahead, pushed the door closed, and kind of grabbed her up a little. She's like, oh no, no. He's like, oh, come here, let's do this. So yeah, he took control of that situation. Come to find out, Holly never left. What she did do was that she came back to the house. Yeah, she came back and kind of tricked Tommy a little bit, handcuffed him to the bed. And why is his bed so low? I feel like it's almost like he's sleeping on the floor. Like, what is going on? I guess he liked the days when he probably used to have to sleep on the floor with his mom when she used to sell the crack, you know, sell things for crack and all that. They probably had the floor on the bed, I mean, mattress on the floor. So maybe that's what he's used to. That's why he likes it so low. I can't think of any other reason why anybody would want their bed that low. But okay, so that's what he has. So she locks him up, you know, I'm about to get all kinky and stuff and get all crazy. But come to find out, that's when she chooses the opportunity, because, you know, he's all locked up, to tell him, I've seen the feds and I need the gun that Jaime used. Did he kill Rolla? She's like bombarding him with questions and telling him all this. And he's like, wait, what? So you're trying to get my friend locked up? You're trying to get Ghost locked up? Are you crazy? What's wrong? Like, he went off on her. So she's like, wait, hold on. You're choosing Jaime over me? He looked at her like, are you crazy? Yes, I'm gonna choose him over you. I just met you the other day. I knew this man since I was a teenager, since we were kids. What's wrong with you? Is that even a question? Just because I gave you a ring, you think that we an item? It's not even that serious. He like, yo, he looking for the key so he can, he's like, yo, he's trying to snatch her up. Yo, I think he would have pulverized her if she would have gotten any closer, or if he didn't have those cuffs on. So what he did, he's looking for the key. He cannot find the key nowhere. So following that, he's like, yo, where's the key? Give me the key. And then she has it in her hand. He's like, you little thief. Yo, he called her every name in the freaking book. Yo, except the child of God. I tell you, he called her everything. Yo, and then she was just like she... Yo, now she saw the real side of him, the real crazy side. She was just, but I'm like, yo, at the end of the day, that's the last person to piss off, because right now she's trying to help you. You piss her off to the max. There's a lot of things that she knows about you. She knows where your stash is. Like, you told this girl way too much too soon. So now she leaving, she's mad. She got money in her pocket because Ghost gave her a whole bunch of money. She got a ticket, so I don't know if she's gonna leave or if she's gonna meet up with Angela again. So I guess we gotta see what happens. But yeah, the way that ended, she was just like, oh my God. I can't believe he's talking to me like this. Like, he called her the B word, the C word, like every bad word that you could think of. And she was just like, you know what? You gonna stay right there. You think you getting this key? Nah, not after talking to me like that, buddy. Good luck with the chainsaw. Bang. Alright guys, so let me know what you thought about this episode down below. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.